Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now this is a very beautiful blank. I'm not 100% sure what wood it is. I'm thinking it's probably Bubinga or something like that. But I've chosen this to be the basis of a project I've been wanting to make for over a year. It's an idea, a concept I've had for a very long time, and I haven't been able to do it up to now because I haven't had the technology and the tools in order to do it. But now we've just managed to get hold of one of the latest lasers on the market, and that is going to help us create a very special inlay into this wonderful blank. The laser we've got hold of is the Creality Falcon 2 Pro 40-watt laser engraver with a full enclosure. It's got air assist as well, and that is going to help us make something which I've been dreaming of for a very long time. So just take a quick look at the laser. Okay, so this is the Creality Falcon 2 Pro 40-watt laser. It has Class 1 safety FDA certification, so it's suitable for use in industrial purposes. Connected to a PC via two USB cables. This one controls the main laser, and this one here for the top mounted camera, which allows you to position material accurately as it superimposes the pattern that you're cutting over the top. We have usual safety features, stop button, keys to lock it, and also if it's cutting, as it's cutting there's an air traction at the back, which in this case I've got it leading straight out the window, but you can also get fume hoods as well, or fume boxes rather. Creality make those as well, if you're using this inside a workshop or something like that. As soon as you open that up, alarm sounds, cuts off the laser. When you close it and press the play again, it carries on with its cutting, so you don't have to start all over. Nice sliding hood, and inside, I'll just take this piece out. Okay, so inside we've got these removable rods that you can position how you like. You can either have them into the slots or laid flat, according to your preference. It's got a 400 by 415 millimeter work area. As I said, it's a 40-watt laser, but it also comes with a 1.5 watt laser if you want to do some fine engraving work. Now, I know it's got an enclosed cab, and a lot of you are probably thinking, you know, what happens to the bits that fall down inside? It does have a tray that pulls out, allowing you to clear anything that's fallen down there. It'll cut most things. It'll cut paper, wood, leather, MDF, felt, and some dark opaque acrylics as well. And in terms of engraving, it'll engrave paper, wood, leather, MDF, stainless steel, some dark opaque materials, bamboo, fabric. It'll engrave dark glass, ceramic, jade, marble, shale, cement, brick, plated metal, and some painted metals. And one thing that really helps this laser with its power is the external air pump as well. This pumps air directly onto the workpiece as it's cutting, and it keeps the smoke out of the way to make sure that that laser is constantly focused. To control this, you can use the GRBL, which is a free piece of software, but I'm going to be using it with Lightburn, which gives you an awful lot more control of the features of this thing. Okay, let's go and carry on. Okay, so that's the laser. The wood we're going to use for the inlay are things like walnut, yew, oak, and I've got this absolutely amazingly figured piece of ash as well that I think would be ideal in this project. So first of all, we've got to make a bowl. Okay, I'm going to mount this initially using a worm screw. Now I can't see any flaws in this wood, so I think we're free to use either side for the top or the bottom. So I'll just get my gauge out. Now looking at the shavings coming off there, I think this is a piece of walnut. We'll know a bit more when we turn it back, but at the moment I'm guessing walnut. Okay, we're all set up. We're just going to initially true this up so we can take a good look at the wood, make sure it's all nice and sound, and then we can start thinking about our design. Initially, we're going to be starting to turn at about 700 RPM. Mask and face shield on, bowl gouge all sharpened up, so we can start. Okay, we've got that just about round. Now, it's not Babinga. I can pretty much tell you that because it really is quite soft when it's being turned. So currently thinking along the lines of a black walnut or something like that. It's got quite a distinctive smell to it, which Babinga doesn't have that when it's dry. So I am thinking along the lines of black walnut at the moment. Right, so we're going to be putting an inlay in the top, so we want quite a steep side as opposed to an angled one, because we need an area to put an inlay into. So steep side, maybe a slight cup at the bottom. Okay, let's start making a shape on the side and see where it goes from there. I'm not attacking it hell for leather, I'm just doing small light cuts to try and get a feel for the wood and an idea in terms of design. Now, because we are doing something which I don't think has ever been done before on this top in terms of an inlay, I want the whole focus to be on that. So the design has to not be focused on the actual shape of the balls so much, but everything leading towards what's on this top. So I think in some sort of this kind of design, this dip we've got going in here, but a bit more accentuated. So the base of the ball is kind of hidden from a normal standing angle. So this will go in a bit further and then start going into the bottom. And we can create a nice foot inside. Now the foot, I've got an idea of what to do there, because what we're doing on the top is kind of experimental, and I would like ideally to try and have a go at it first before we do it for real on the top. So I may put a small inlay on the bottom as well. Right, I'm going to carry on with this. I'm maybe talking a bit of nonsense at the moment, but hopefully you'll get the idea as we go along. Okay, I'm still playing around with it, but I'm starting to get an idea. I've just angled in that top just very, very slightly towards the rim, again as if pointing to the inlay. It's all about indicators to show or to draw the line of sight into where you want it to be. Okay, it doesn't need any more than that, just that slight angle. I'm just going to try and figure out exactly what to do on this base. Took a bit of messing around to try and get the shape around here I was happy with, but I'm very much liking that. Some very, very nice fine cuts at the end. There's virtually no ingrain problems anymore as there were at the start, which is really nice to see. So, next thing I'm going to do is take away the tailstock, put the recess in for the tenon, and then we're going to start looking at where we can put a little inlay in here, just as a practice, and again something to help enhance this piece. Okay, that's the recess sorted out. So I'm going to cut an inlay area like that. I think that's going to give us a good test. I think we're going to learn a lot from doing that when we start to do the outside. Okay, I don't want this inlay too deep. Just a couple of millimeters I think will do it. Right, let's give that a measure. Inside measurement is 91.24 millimeters. .10. Okay, right. I'm going to go and cut a bit of bash and then put it on the laser, and we'll cut out these exact measurements and see how it goes. Okay, there's our little disc. I sent it through 2 passes, although I think it only needed 1. And it's a perfect fit. Right, let's glue this in. Okay, I'm just going to put a bit of cling filmed wood over the top of it so I can compress it in place. I'll leave this for 24 hours, I think. I'll come back tomorrow, sand this, and then start the really exciting stuff. Okay, the next morning this should have had time to nicely dry. I can't wait to turn this back. Right, we're going to turn away this, get it flat to the base, and then we'll start sanding. Okay, that's pretty good. Right, I'm going to set up for sanding. I'll let you watch a bit of it, then I'll bring you back when it's all done. Okay, we'll start off as usual by cleaning off the surface with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. This just gets all the dust out the pores of the wood to allow us to put a finish on and not get any bits in there. This is going to be nice, isn't it? We haven't got onto the fun bit yet, not the really fun bit. That's the colour of the cloth after you've wiped it over. We'll let this dry. Okay, now as this piece is all about being experimental, I'm and try a couple of experimental finishes. So Dean, this is abrasive paste number 1. Abrasive pastes are like a cutting compound that we put on the piece to make it even a finer finished surface to get a higher shine at the end. We rub this in, building the speed as we go along, starting slow and then increasing. Okay, good. All right, we'll clean it off. Any remains with isopropyl again. We'll let that dry. Okay, that has left an absolutely gloriously smooth finish. Okay, continuing on with the experimental, we're going for experimental finish number 5. Okay, we'll buff this in. Okay, let's turn this around. Okay, turned around. Initially we're going to face this off, get it all nice and flat, and then we'll decide whereabouts we're going to have this inlay. Initially turning now at about 900 RPM. Okay, here we go. It's a beautiful surface. Those dark patches are fascinating. Now in terms of inlay, we're relatively close to the edge, I think. So we'll start off with the first outline area about there. We want enough room to be able to do something nice. So good size inlay there. And this line, the same on this side. Doesn't give an awful lot of room for a bowl, but it's an experimental. We're working things out, we're trying to figure things out, so maybe if I just move that a little bit wider, closer to the rim, that'll let me have the bowl starting a fraction further out. Okay, right, I'm going to start hollowing this out up to that second line there. And then we'll start cutting an inlay, and then it's time to design something. I'll do that for now. Right, so I'm just going to quickly take out this area here. Then we're going to measure it, and then it's time to nip onto the computer, and we'll spend a few happy hours coming up with a design. Okay, preparations are going okay. I've got an idea for a design. I have done some testing and I've done some tweaks along the way, so I think we're just about ready to start cutting some strips of wood so that we can use to do our cutouts with. We're going to be using maple, walnut, ash, yew, oak, sapele, Beach, and Purple Heart. Wish me luck. I'm actually nervous. Well, that went well. That was amazing. Okay, we're all done. The laser, I must say, is absolutely phenomenal. It cut through all the different woods with just one pass, and it cut them all beautifully and cleanly. So what we've got ash, yew, purple heart, walnut, sapele, oak, maple, and beech. I've cut 2 or 3 pieces extra from the outsides just in case we have any accidents. Now it takes 8 pieces for the main rim to go all the way around, and as we've got 8 different types of woods, I think I'm going to use a different type for each place, so it fits in like that, and then 8 will go around. So I'm just wondering now about the best way to do this. I think I'll roughly place the wood on just to see how it looks, see if we can get the orientation right, see what sits better next to something else than something. It'd be nice not to have 2 very light woods next to each other if possible. Okay, I think something like that, but I think that'll do. Right, what I'm going to do is glue these in place, and then we're going to start filling in the holes. That's going to be the fun bit. I'm sure there's 1,001 different ways of doing this, and they're all better than the way I'm doing it. That's okay. That's what these experiments are for. Right, nice good bit of wood glue. Make sure we're getting all the edges. That should do it. Right, back in order. Good purple heart. Pretty sure that's oak. That's like sapele. That's beech. It's definitely walnut. There's no mistaking that. Then maple. And then that is ash. I'm making a mess of the outside. I might have to refinish it. That's okay though. Okay, now for the fun bit. Inside all these pots, I've got lots of little diamonds that are going to fill these shapes to create a nice effect, hopefully. Now what I'm going to try not to do is put the diamond in corresponding to the wood it's next to, if that makes any sense. So for instance, that's maple, so I'm not going to put any maple diamonds in there. Right, so purple heart, bit of yew, smoke. Nice oogie mess. Okay, nicely pressed in. Just got to do that another lot of times. Right, I think it's time to go into fast forward mode for you guys. Well, there we go. They're all in, all down firmly. I don't think there's any point in applying pressure because the heights are a little bit indifferent. So they're all fairly tightly packed in. So we're just going to leave it as it is. And we'll come back tomorrow and see if all that effort was worthwhile. Okay, the time has come to reveal what's underneath all this gunk and mess. I'm quite excited and quite nervous at the same time. So let's just do it. Oh, wow. That looks amazing. That looks absolutely amazing. Right, I'm not going to risk any more going across the surface because that is just perfect. Right, I'm going to quickly sort out the inside and then we can start sanding. Okay, that'll do that beautifully. Right, let's start sanding. As usual, I'll let you watch a bit of it and I shall bring you back when it's done. Okay, sanding went well. So now it's time just to clean off the surface with a bit of isopropyl. I had to resand the sides a little bit where I got, oh wow, where I got some glue on the outside of the bowl. Oh my goodness. Right, we'll just give it a second to dry. Okay, so that's all nice and dry now. So as before, we're going to go on with an abrasive paste. Just to make the surface as smooth as we can get it. Smoother the surface, the higher the shine we'll get. Clean off residue again with isopropyl. Again, let that dry. And then finally, the experimental polish number 5. take a look at what we've done. Well, there we go. After a year of thinking about it and planning, I've actually managed to have a go to see if it can be done. I am so pleased with the outcome. I managed to find out what wood this is, by the way. It's African walnut. And I can't wait to turn it again because it's absolutely beautiful wood. The grain is just phenomenal. I have to send out a huge thanks to Creality for letting me use the laser, because I've been so desperate to find out if this would actually work. And it certainly does. I did try it before with my old laser, but it just wasn't up to it. It couldn't cut through the wood as easily as this one can. And it just wasn't working. Now I know this technique works, I've got so many plans for different things I can do with it. It kind of opens up a whole new field of inlays that I've never investigated before. So we can explore and go further and do more and more interesting things. I know lasers aren't usual tools for wood turners, but the accuracy of it means that I can take on projects that would normally be well outside my abilities. If you are interested in getting into using lasers, then I can certainly recommend the Creality Falcon 2 Pro. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but if you want something that will do the job, then sometimes unfortunately you have to make an investment. There is a link to the product in the description below, and there is a 10% discount code there as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's certainly been quite an emotional process for me because, like I said, it's something that I've been wanting to do for over a year, and now to have actually got the opportunity to do it and pull it off, it really means an awful lot to me. It really does. Anyway, if you have liked it, I would appreciate a like and subscribe and thumbs up and all of that, and if you could share it as well, then that would be absolutely amazing. Don't forget that if you leave a comment in the description below, you are going to be entered into the giveaway the next time we do one. And I have a feeling that the giveaway bowl will be something along these lines. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I shall see you next time. Thank you.